Tonight, it's round number 4 from Sonoma Raceway in California. Will the rolling hills be a challenge for these Trans Am muscle cars? We are about to find out.
Le Mans, Bugatti circuit, Brands Hatch, all the way through to Yas Marino.
It's Sonoma,
One race,
bumps galore,
YMTV.
Oh,
Here's a clear start. Oh, he's gonna make it work. Moving once again, and now this is going down towards the right hand. Who's it gonna be?
it's Flipmode!
There's Ross Harmark.
This race
That race is smoking. Has the acceleration. What a race. What a race.
Hello everyone, my name is Flipmode and alongside me is McAssey, and welcome to YMTV's coverage of the TORA's Trans Am, powered by Corbo. And I'm glad to be back in the booth. I'm sure you feel the same way, Pat, after the mid-season break, and I bet the drivers are glad to be back on track as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was a decent amount of time off, but everybody's got to be glad to get back now that we got some changes in store for this series.
It's true, we do. We have some changes indeed, and we'll actually get to that shortly. Not changes on the calendar, but changes on the cars and how they'll be racing. A BOP adjustment, or balance of performance, has been made at this crucial part of the season. And we got some cool graphics prepared for you guys. So get out your pencils and your notebooks. We got some work to do later on. But yes, we are back today. Sonoma Raceway, it's round number 4, and that championship is starting to heat up. You know, we've had initial race winners thinking back to Harmonic in week 1. Then we had Diablo and a great performance there at Road America. We weren't around for round 3, but we're back round 4. And those two guys are not at the top of the championship leaderboard. They actually took their own breaks from the TORA Trans Am Series for the Forza Racing Championship. I believe some of them may be racing. We'll take a look at that later. But some new drivers have emerged in the championship. Still all to play for.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely some guys that weren't up front, but a lot of names that we recognize throughout battles throughout the field. I remember specifically at Sega we had a couple of instances where Tri-Pass and Drifting Hero, Mr. Drive, they were all in the mix. Same with Sparky, I remember him.
Yeah, and it's those guys who were battling in those podium spots, right? That 2nd through 5th. Where I guess it was the meat on the bone, where we're going to find our champion. It's not going to be Diablo. It's not going to be Harmonic. They've already missed too many races. It's going to be the Mr. Drive. It's going to be a THR Sparky. It's going to be a THR Tri-Pass and a Drifting Hero. And tonight, we start to get a clearer picture of who that might be. Since we're kind of talking standings, let's actually get those up on screen. There you have it. It's and another guy we've course, forgot to mention EVR Mead. So he's the driver leading our U.S. Championship standings by 3 points over Sparky, and not too far behind. Who do we got?
Right behind him, we got THR Sparky, Mr. Drive, Drifting Hero, THR Tri-Pass, and round out the top 5. Then it goes CCGG Racing, SFM Darkser. I always mess that one up when I say it. Pedantic Squirrel, DR Roadkill, and CCM Sport closing out the top 10. Then C-Tom 14 and Big Ben in 11th and 12th.
So, I mean, just looking at it, what, 888, and that's EBR Mead, and then Big Ben all the way down there in 12th with 809, I want to say, right? So that's 79 points between 1 through 12. So it's tight. Do I think Big Ben's got a shot to find 79 points tonight? Probably not. But the point is that I think any one of these guys can win this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned Big Ben, because I think, as we'll see a little bit later on when we start talking about these car changes, it could play to his advantage, because he's already cracked the top 12 with a handicap challenger.
Sure has, yeah, indeed. So the schedule for tonight, Pat, I might actually have to, oh, you know what, I do have a good set of batteries here, so I'm good there. I was worried I was going to have to take a quick break and go get some batteries, but no, I am all set. But the format for tonight, how's that going to go? We're going to start off with what?
So we got qualifying coming up. Where did this tab on my laptop go? Here we are. So we got qualifying coming up, and then 2 races of 12 laps. Grid order of the first one set by the qualifying, grid order of the second one set by the first race, and they will be a rolling start. So it will technically be 13 laps that you'll see on the counter.
13 laps, yep. And a pretty good sized race distance. Sonoma is not exactly the shortest track on the calendar. It's got a good distance there.
Yeah, I think it's right around average length for most of these tracks. Not on the longer end, but a lot of elevation change, a lot of blind corners. It's definitely an interesting one.
Exactly. Yeah, so we'll be getting into qualifying probably in about 10 minutes at the top of the hour. And then we'll be going, once we get through qualifying, then we'll go off to the races. So again, it's like I said, it's glad to be back. I'm pretty happy about how Mexico City went. Did a show in London. That was a lot of fun. But back to our roots here at YMTV, covering some league racing. And as the Forza Racing Championship does wind down, I expect Ali and Mellish to be back. They'll be doing their end and their action on the European side, maybe get some ORL action going. I don't know that we have anything in the works yet, but I'm sure they'll want to get busy and fill up their calendar, because and they love this game just as much as you and I do. But I'm certainly happy to be back, and couldn't be asking for anything more than the TORA Trans Am Series. I think it's been a great one so far, and the muscle cars, I think, you know, we were really spoiled with the Hot Hatch Challenge, but the muscle cars seem to have come into their own, haven't they?
Yeah, they have not disappointed, that's for sure. I think the Hot Hatch Challenge was great when in its own right, but as we talked about at the beginning of this, polar opposite series, longer tracks, high horsepower cars, rear-wheel drive, and we kind of seen that play out, because people are sliding them around during the race. You kind of have to be dancing on the edge with these in order to be going quick.
It's true. You really got to push these cars, and that's, I think, that fine line. Where's that edge? And the edge was in the hot hatch cars in the front-wheel drive. Really, you're looking for the sim twitch, when the car kind of just loses its grip, and the sim steering catches the car out in front, and then you kind of just lose the car altogether. Here, it's complete opposite. It's that oversteer, and you want to avoid the snap oversteer. You want to avoid that rear end from really coming out on exit. These cars have stock tires on them. In some cases, minor upgrades to the rear tires. So there's not like that. There's a lot of grip in the back. There's no aero as well, so it's not hammer down throttle all the time in these cars. You do got to be a little delicate with them. They're not track monsters. These are production cars, and I think that's kind of just that neat flavor that the Trans Am series has given us so far this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned to you that I finally got some laps in these cars, and one thing I noticed right away was it's all about momentum. Gotta carry the weight of these cars through mid-corner.
It's true. So, tonight, I believe we got a pretty good sized field going. I don't know exactly how many drivers. I think I remember seeing over 32 drivers, which means we'll probably have 2 lobbies at a minimum, 3 lobbies at a max. And maybe why don't I go check that out and confirm.
I'm trying to bring it up as well.
Yeah. Let's see, where are we? Hmm. 34 drivers. So we might have 3 lobbies, just given the fact that there's ideally they would want 16 in each lobby, and I hope we get that tonight in our lobby. If we don't, they may shave off a few on the back end and have a smaller lobby C. I don't exactly know how they'll work that out, but that's how many we got tonight, so that's a tricky number to work with. 34 drivers signed in today, and we look to be taking the fastest group. So what they'll be doing is qualifying, of course, and then we'll be taking that fastest group of drivers. So we mentioned it earlier, Pat, about the balance of performance and the changes that the marshals made. So what they did was they obviously used the first 3 races and the first 3 rounds, and they used the number of cars that were selected. We saw a lot of Javelins, we saw a lot of Trans Ams, and they started to identify trends, and they made minor adjustments to each of these cars with the exception of 3 of them. So in the efforts to try and make the cars more even for the remainder of the season. For those who felt like they had the wrong car choice, this is their vindication. They get maybe perhaps a stronger car. Those who are in the Javelins, those who are in the 73 Trans Am, maybe they feel the rest of the field's kind of up to par where their car is. So balance of power, now you kind of know what that means. We got a few different graphics here for you guys. We're going to start with, let's see here, we'll start with horsepower. Now what you're looking at is the blue line is the old horsepower for each car, okay? You'll notice that, for example, the Javelin actually had more horsepower in the previous build compared to what it has now, the yellow line being the new line. So as far as horsepower is concerned, we're not seeing dramatic shifts here. We're seeing maybe 5 to 6 horsepower difference between the new builds. And for me, I think it was, probably the 69 Camaro that was given the highest, or had the highest HP before. See that they're up there on the blue line with 470, now 475. What do you see here on horsepower? Any notes there?
That was one I actually hadn't considered, but that is an interesting one to point out. Another one I think is interesting is the Challenger, just because we will see in some later graphics that it gets a couple of bumps in other areas as well.
It's true, you're right. So the Challenger also up 5 horsepower. I think those were your big movers. But you start to see how BOP works. They're looking at these sort of things and they realize, or this is one of those items that they'll use in their one of the tools in their tool belt they'll use to try and help out individual cars. So there's horsepower. Looks like the Camaro got a bump. The Challenger got a small bump, up 5 HP. And the 69 Trans Am, way over to the right, That one, not a very popular car as far as the one the drivers are picking. That one given 6 horsepower. So big move there for the drivers who did choose that. They got a big help there with 6 horsepower. So moving on, let's see here. We'll switch over to weight. So weight. Now it starts to get interesting. Now there was a big move here, Pat. One of these cars shaved off a ton of weight. And you can kind of see it there on graphic. Which car's that, you know?
Yeah, Challenger's got a big gap, and you can't really tell specifically what it is on that graph, but it's 29 pounds that came off, and the only other car that had anything comparable to that was the 69 Camaro, shaved 12 pounds. But that's still less than half the amount of weight that they took off the Challenger.
Exactly. So that Challenger, it's got a new race driveline and a new street exhaust. So a big savings there in weight. And when the yellow and the blue line, you notice the blue line's kind of gone there for a few of the cars. Mustang, Cuda, Trans Am SD, and the 69 Trans Am. That's because no changes there as far as weight's concerned. The weight is identical. But obviously the big story here is the Challenger. And here's where it gets real fun. We're going to do PI now. So performance index, and this is basically the overall performance number of each car based off a number of factors, acceleration, or the parts in the car, and stock parts and everything like that. But here's your performance index. Now this is where it gets real fun. Obviously the numbers really started to change here, and big movers there for the Challenger, obviously, because it not only lost weight, but it also gained horsepower. So the Challenger, probably the biggest move as far as PI is concerned, up to 621 PI. And the Camaro up as well with that big HP boost. But pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting kind of to see how all those sort of factors play into the PI.
It sure does. Yeah, so we got our homework lesson now in, folks. And we should be kicking off qualifying shortly. I think I was the one holding it up. Let me see here. It might have been me. Yeah, so qualifying's going to be starting off any minute now. They'll be driving, of course, Sonoma. And it'll be the full circuit. And Sonoma will certainly give these cars its challenges. Obviously with the no aero, the skinnier tires, and the older cars, a little more body roll. I think, you know, the BOP couldn't have come at a better time for some of these cars. Just with the challenges that Sonoma brings along with it. So yeah,
should be an interesting
moments
one,
away.
Last race we were out had long straighters. We were at Road America, and now Sonoma doesn't really have anything that you could consider a straight.
But they're not really straights that you can really blink on or check your gauges. You're almost already preparing for a kink right away, or you're already looking for your next braking marker or identifying your next turn, because you're right, they come up awfully quick.
Yeah, there's always something at this track.
Yeah. You're right, because Road America, very high intensity, low intensity track, and I think Sonoma's the complete opposite. You got a lot of elevation, of course, corner to corner you're going in these cars, and these cars don't like doing that. I think they
absolutely.
They probably
another big
prefer like a Sebring or a Road America.
Sonoma, you can get up on the curbs, and so it'll be interesting to see how these cars handle that, because they got a higher ride height, like you said, a little bit more body roll, so it could get them out of shape a bit if you take too much.
It's true. Yeah, and the curbs here are certainly a little more trickier than some of the other tracks in Forza. So qualifying, any moment now, we'll be getting in there, and we'll be taking our fastest drivers. I think times we're looking low 40s, 1 minute 40s, 141s, 142s. That's the best I know. I can't tell you for certain, but that is what I have heard. Let's see. So qualifying is indeed taking off. So let's get you guys up on screen here. And of course, a reminder here for those new to YMTV and how this works. These cars are actually ghosted. They will not crash into each other. That's to give everyone a good opportunity to get in their fastest laps. If you see cars driving over each other, that's what's happening. They are indeed ghosted out. But for the races, no such luck. You will have to drive around your opponent. But here we are getting a good look at THR Sparky, and he's currently second in the championship, 3 points behind EVR Mead. Now, did Mead sign up today?
I did not look at that. I'll take a look.
He's in. EVR Mead is in.
Yes.
Mead in the Cuda, the Plymouth Cuda. Sparky there in the Mustang. And the manufacturers now, you know? So it's still, especially with these adjustments that the marshals have made, really going to shake up that manufacturers championship.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it'll play out. And it's interesting that more people didn't change their car selection because of these BOP changes. We only saw, I believe you said it was 2 car changes as a result.
Yeah, those 2 changes, I want to say, were Hailfire, who we're on screen with right now. He's made the move to the Pontiac, I believe. And he got a podium in the UK series earlier today. So that move paid off for him. And then Driftin' Hero, he was in the Pontiac as well. He's made a move as well. But I think Mead was our double race winner earlier today. So look for him. He likes Sonoma, apparently. Can Sparky hold him off? So there is a sister series going on. That happens earlier on in the day. Unfortunately, we do not cover that one, just the US one. But Mead had a good day there today. So coming around for lap number 2. And we'll get our first chance to look at those lap times. Again, expected low 140s. So this is Pedantic Squirrel I'm on board with now in the Javelin. And right behind him is Insanity Cursed.
I'm on board with Tri-Passing, who's got Flying Mikey J and Big Ben in front of him, so there's a group of 3 cars that have kind of been running near/in each other for the last few laps.
So after 1 lap, Sparky, 141.8, he's your fastest lap. Number 2, I didn't get a quite good look at it. We will get another chance here in a moment. It's Squirrel, 142.6. So Sparky with a good, healthy lead there. That's 0.8 of a second faster than Pedantic Squirrel. So Sparky finding pace early. All right, maybe we drop down a few here because.
Yeah, so I'm still on a Tri-Passing. I just saw it scroll by again. He's 3rd fastest right now. So THR boys doing pretty good. THR Chirp's in 4th. Scroll again. We got 5th. Insanity Curse. Fly Mikey J 6. And I missed the other 2.
I still think there's a few dirty laps out there as well. Big Ben.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people all over the place.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tri-Passing looks to be in 3rd place now. Fastest lap still, that you can see it there on screen, 141.8 from THR Sparky. Can Squirrel get any closer? Heading around that final turn now into that kink left-hander. We will go to Squirrel to see what he's put up.
143.3.
No, so he did not get faster. Big Ben got faster. He's moved up into 7th. Hailfire, he's moved up into 5th, got 0.3 faster. Mikey J's falling down. Roscoe's falling down. Hunty not faster. So Chirp Chirp much faster. He's got a 142.3, so he found 3 tenths.
Yeah, he jumped 2 spots.
Yeah, so Chirp Chirp.
Insanity Curse drops
he's
down
doing.
to 6th.
Squirrel might be safe there in 3rd, but he's probably got more time. Where's Mead? Oh, Mead must not be in our lobby. Yeah, Mead's in a different lobby. Yeah. So let's see here. Let's go to those bubble guys. Let's take a look at Kirst in 6th position. Just saw someone go off. I think that was Squirrel. So if Squirrel's gone off there, which I think he did, his lap time's not going to be any faster. So trouble for Squirrel, perhaps? We saw him have some good races early on in the season.
Is in front of TriPass, who I'm on board with right now.
Yes, I just wanted to be... I did see him go off, so certainly this lap is dirty.
Okay, I might have switched to him while that was happening then.
Yeah.
Good looks, though.
Getting a look at Kirst now. Currently 6th with a 143.7. So the times here are... They're all over the place. Ooh, wow. Someone way wide there and very, very deep. That was Kirst, so Kirst going very, very deep there. Maybe he gets a good run here for his final attempt. Well, he'll have 2 attempts, excuse me. So Sparky, Chirp Chirp, Squirrel, TriPass, and 4 THR drivers in the top 4 here in our qualification lobby. So THR Esports looking pretty good. And look to get 3 drivers in that lobby. Squirrel is really struggling with this new Javelin build. Boy. So that Javelin, down on horsepower, down on PI, and Squirrel's time also down. Big Ben's found a half second there on that last lap. 143.
Hailfire's way out of shape coming down the hill.
So Hailfire's dirtied his lap. Where's he? Outside the top 4.
He is sitting P5, I want to say. Yeah, P5.
He is P5. 142.9. His last lap. But this has all been up. THR Sparky, he put up that 141.8 in his second attempt. And hasn't been able to best it yet. Has he done it now? We'll go take a look at Sparky. And he's pitting. He's calling it. That's it. So THR Sparky, he's done. He believes his 141.8 is going to be fast enough. His teammate Chirp. And number 862, Javelin, with a 141.9, not far behind, so he's had a great lap there on lap number 5. We'll drop down to Squirrel, see where he is. Still there in 3rd. TriPass with a 142.7. He's in 4th. This is TriPass looking ahead to Hailfire and Kirst. Hailfire, just ahead of him there in 5th with a 142.9 and clean. We saw a lot of guys go dirty there. That being... Trying to count off the turns in my head here.
I can never remember if the one before that counts.
It's going to be turn 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it's turn 5 or 6. Yeah. It's certainly a tricky spot. Hailfire's gone really, really slow here. He's lost considerable time. So he may have to stick with where he's got. Hailfire 142.9. Likely not.
Yeah, I'm on with Insanity Curse, who came through after Hailfire failed. And he seems to be pushing his lap to try and get into the top 4, maybe, but there's a big gap, so I doubt that. Maybe he'll steal P5.
Hailfire's going to put that car in the pits. Cursed 143.4. Is that fast enough? And how many cars are we taking into A lobby? You will soon find out. Insanity Curse to 143.4. Final times now coming in. Dropping back now. Big Ben 140. It's now gone on to race time, so I didn't quite get Big Ben's time. But he likely finished. Let's see here as we get a look at the ticker. Ooh, he's outside the top 8. This could be in race order, though.
Yeah, I think it's
9.
switched over to race order now.
It might be in race order, yeah. But I think the story from qualifying certainly is 3 THR drivers in the top 4 with Squirrel there breaking up the party. So Sparky, Chirp Chirp, Squirrel, then Tri-Passing is your top 4. So we thought 141s, low 140s, we thought would be the time. And boy, those times were everywhere, weren't they? 141s,
Yeah.
142s, 44s. Wow.
Yeah, huge drop off after the 142s. Really, I mean, there's 143, some 144s, 145. Yeah, really all over the place.
Really all over the place. Let's see here, looking through some of these times here. Big Ben, 144.3. I know he can go faster than that. Roscoe, 144.0. He's a guy who's typically an A-lobby driver. 144.0, that's really pushing his luck there. Hailfire, 142.9. I think that's a pretty decent time. How about Sandmouse? Look at that time.
Where are we? 144. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that.
So we hit a 144 dead. 0.000. Skills, my man, skills.
That's when you walk out of qualifying and go, yeah, I meant to do that.
Maybe he got the 144 pitted, knew he couldn't get any faster than that. So qualification is just wrapped up. We will be doing 2 races tonight, 12 laps. And next week, looking ahead, we'll go into Road Atlanta for round number 5. And then there'll be a 6th round, and I believe that's at Sebring. So
Yes, sir.
6-week event, the TORA Trans Am Series. But tonight, it's Sonoma Raceway. And speaking of Sonoma, let's get a little track guide going for you guys. So Pat, I know you can't see this, but give me your initial thoughts on Sonoma as a racetrack.
I honestly like it. It's one of my go-tos if I just want to do some laps with a car that I like. It's got everything to challenge you. Off-camber turns, blind turns, like I said, elevation changes, curbs you can get up on. It's kind of just a really technically challenging track.
Yeah, very much a track, very much in the theme of California with the rolling hills and the wine country there of Napa Valley, not too far off. But passing zones, where are moves going to be made? Let's get a little focus on that. Sonoma Raceway. I think we're going to start probably, I mean, there's a lot of moves to be made, but I think turn number 4, so 3 to 4. You're coming downhill, so turn number 4, that right-hander. There's a lot of space there on exit, and it's a long sweeping turn getting into turn number 5. Next up would be turn number 7. Of course, that's going to be one of the slowest parts of the track. It's really a double right-hander, but the guys will be double apexing. And then finally, your last turn, turn number 11, the definitely slowest part of the track. I definitely expect cutback moves to be made there. Can you strike back on the kink and into turn number 1? We will certainly find out, but those are your passing zones for Sonoma Raceway. A very much a driver's track. And it's a track that you react to rather than, I think, preparing for and attacking. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I let them drive
absolutely.
the track rather than the track drives me. Well, I should say that the other way around. The track drives me rather than I drive the track.
Yeah, absolutely. It's It's a fun one for that reason, and also it's wider at a lot of those passing zones, like turn 11 where the hairpin is, so we can see some guys defending, which not a lot of tracks offer.
That's true. You're right. In particular, like you said, 7 and 11, very, very wide there. So we shouldn't be too far off. I imagine what's happening at this point is each of the qualification lobbies, and there was 3 indeed, will be collecting all the times, and we'll be sorting them, and we will be watching our fastest drivers tonight. I'm wondering if we have any updates. Let's see where we go. I think we're just waiting on one more lobby, and that was DRR Gato's lobby. Yeah. So a few
So as it
DRR
stands now,
drivers
though,
in there.
only 141s are from our lobby. Oops, sorry. Mead
Really?
snuck in. So no, we got 3 141s. EVR Mead, THR Sparky, THR Trick Shirt.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. So let's see who else we're waiting on. You guys here, the Demonic Rebels Racing Team, Brian, Gato, and Roadkill. I expect Roadkill to put a good
CCM
time.
Sports in the top of the standings. Diablo, we're waiting for his time.
I think did Diablo race? I think he's not racing tonight.
Nope, sorry.
Diablo did register himself out. Yeah, as far as drivers out while we're waiting for times to come in, Julian, he's out. Devil, he's out. Windcharger, out. Harmonic, Diablo, Hysterical, DJ, Professor, K72. Those drivers all registered, not racing today. M Sport not racing today. Just a few of the guys I remember seeing in A lobby. But a few guys who are registered as in, waiting some times. Let's see, HCCR Chum, I know we saw him earlier in the year. Rabbitus can sneak in every now and then. Roadkill certainly. Brian. And maybe even Gato if he puts in a good day.
I think
few more
HCCR
times.
Colonel was mixing it up in round 1, wasn't he?
Yeah, sounds familiar. Certainly sounds familiar. So thank you guys for tuning in. Today, of course, is round number 4 for the TORA Trans Am Series. And we will be back next week for Road Atlanta and then wrapping up at Sebring. After this, I'll be honest, I don't think we have anything on the calendar, but we certainly will. If a league event pops up, we may shift to weekends. I don't know what your schedule's like, but we'll certainly keep the American broadcast going, guys. So look forward to updates, more to come on that. But tonight, Sonoma Raceway, 12 laps. Mead, though, looked awfully strong today with 2 race wins, I believe, in the European Series. And hearing rumors of another 41 from him, so look for him to perhaps stretch that small lead from THR Sparky. He can do himself some favors tonight.
The times still aren't in. I just refreshed the page.
Yeah. So we're kind of in that in-between phase, guys. We will look to get into a lobby shortly. I think just a few more drivers, and we'll be just about done. If you're looking for fingers to point and blame, you can point at Gato tonight. DR Gato. Sorry, my man. We're calling you out.
Also, I just noticed Drifting Heroes calling you out in the Twitch chat. Said, did I hear you say I was in a Pontiac? Because he's in Bumblebee.
That's right, yes. Of course, the Bumblebee.
Brush the page.
So, the starting of the racing will be rolling starts, guys. Just a reminder there. They'll be coming around that final turn and then the kink, I believe, approximately 60 miles an hour. And once that driver crosses the start-finish line, that is when they can hammer down. So that's really how the start of the race will go. What we'll do is we'll basically a warm-up lap, and so it allows the drivers to warm up the tires, get a little the brakes as well, get those up to temperature, and then they will go green on their first full lap. And then it's a race to the finish. Okay, so I think we're all in.
My page is still loading.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I was actually given access to the Online Racing Association's document that allows them to manipulate this data in this page, and I am so afraid to go in there that I'd mess up something.
Oh, I could imagine.
So I don't use it.
Is it just like a Google Doc?
It's like a Google, yeah, it's just a simple Google Doc.
So
But
that's even worse, because then they'll be able to know that you're the one that screwed it up.
I know, right? And I would so do it too. I'd so do it. Somehow I'd highlight something, move it backwards, and then the formula's absolutely, like, destroyed.
So with all the times in, it looks like... Or, no.
We might be doing
more.
2 lobbies. Because if you guys did not show, which
Yeah, there's a couple DNQs.
Yeah, a couple DNQs.
So we ended up
we're
with
probably gonna do 2
27.
lobbies.
Yeah, can easily do 2 with that. But yep, only 3 guys in the 141.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get it nice and in order, which they're probably still working on before I go ahead and put it up on the stream. Yeah, not quite ready yet, guys. We're really close. And I'll just keep that keep an eye on that. So once that is up, I'll get that up on screen. But just kind of coming back from Mexico City, then went off to London, racked up some cool miles there, then actually went to New York City for work. Just came back yesterday. Excuse me, when did I come back? I came back today. Look, I don't even know my days.
I can imagine you're on like 12 different time zones.
And then I was worried. I'm like, you know, there's a hurricane coming. I don't know if I'm going to be, like, if there's a home I can come home to, but sure enough, everything was fine. And Jacksonville kind of escaped a lot of the...
I forgot that you have to worry about hurricanes.
Yeah. Not this time, though. I don't even think... We've got some rain, but... no, flight got here just fine. I think we took the long way. We had to fly around the hurricane. But other than that, I was worried there for a minute or two. You know, maybe we are actually just gonna go with this, and maybe I can figure out a way. See, I can't though. They gotta sort this for me. Maybe I can get access to Google Doc. Let's see here. I'm nervous though.
tread cautiously.
I know, right? So what I can do is I can just kind of export it. I can't hurt anything if I do that, right?
I would say no.
Here we go. I got it. I got it. This is much better. This is better. So here we go. So we are going to take... Haven't done the lobbies yet, so we're just going to take 16. Pick the top 16. I am clicking furiously here, folks. And my dog's trying to get in the hut. And she opened the door.
Wow, talented.
I know. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so there's qualifying results. We kind of hinted at it. EVR Mead with a 141.7. Just behind him was THR Sparky with a 141.8. Chirp Chirp with a 141.9. And continuing us for us, Pat, do you see the rest of the field? Possibly, we believe, if we take 16, this will be our 16.
Yeah, so then we got EVR Huracan 142.02, Drifting Hero 142.1, C-Tom 14 142.4, Pedantic Squirrel 142.6, Mr. Drive 142.6 as well, HTCR Chum 142.7, THR Tripassman 142.7 as well, CCGG Racing 142.7, Hellfire 142.9, Insanity Curse 143.2, SFM Darkseer 143.2, DR Roadkill 143.4, and Eerie Twist 143.6.
So we just missed out on Bubs, I believe. Bubs just missed out was the 17th driver in order. But looking down this order, there's a few names that kind of stick out to me. Mr. Drive in the Javelin with a 142.693. And he was a guy who took 2 podiums at Laguna Seca. I believe he also had a podium at Road America. So he's been a very, very strong driver in the Trans Am Series, way down in 8th. So I think he's perhaps the sexy pick tonight, Mr. Drive. What do you read from some of these qualification results?
I was gonna... If you asked me at the beginning, I probably would have leaned towards Pedantic Squirrel. But I'm gonna go with Chirp Chirp. Because he seemed to be flying out there.
Picking a THR guy, nice. I can approve of that. Let's see here. So, one note, we saw THR try passing in our lobby. And he was 4th overall. Well, 4th overall in our lobby got him way down to 10th. So... a big gap there from him being 4th in our lobby with a 142.7. A lot of drivers there are in the 142.6, 142.4. So there's still a significant amount of time, in my opinion, here. I wonder if this is everyone's fastest lap. Did they... Some of these guys got more time? We'll certainly find out. We have made our way into the lobby. And waiting on just a handful more. And how many are we taking? I don't know. Maybe we've Has that been updated?
So there's 16 in this lobby right now, but that's counting me and you. And that was terrible
16.
grammar. Okay, there's
Yeah,
18
we're taking
here
16.
now.
Yeah. So Bubs is going to be pole in B lobby. Sandmouse, Roscoe, P. Coltrane are your
We
top
were that
three.
close to
Bustilla.
having 144 flat as a cutoff.
That's true. A 144 flat in Sandmouse. That was good enough for second in B lobby. But here, tonight, what we're looking at a Cuda on pole, a Boss, a Mustang in second. Then we get a Javelin in third, pair of Camaros in fourth and fifth, and then 3 Javelins in a row, 6, 7, 8. We got a Firebird now, a 73 Firebird, HCCR Chum. And then Tri-Pass in there in Z28. So we have how many makes here? 5?
Got...
Cuda, the Boss.
Yeah.
5 cars. Heck of a job. Heck of a job by the guys to actually make those switches, the BOP adjustments, to have 5 cars this close, lapping this close at times. I think just it's a testament to the good work by the marshals.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a healthier mix than we had in previous rounds.
In weeks 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how the Ford, the Focus on the Hot Hatch Challenge seemed to come on late in the season? What car makes that change now? We won't get a chance to see it. We thought the Challenger was going to be a big boost there. The only Challenger I think I remember seeing tonight was Big Ben. But no Challengers in our A lobby, so maybe, you know, wasn't enough Challengers out there to really...
I think he might have been one of the only
Give it a good
people in the
test.
entire series
who
that was running the Challenger.
You know, does vaguely sound familiar.
I don't know that. I mean, the Camaro seemed to be competitive already, so I mean, it's still
Z28 definitely was
competitive now.
competitive, yeah. And that Camaro, where no adjustments were made to that car. That car remained exactly the same.
That's true.
The
You're
69
right, I forgot
Camaro.
about that. Mhm.
Now that was the car that I think maybe only 1 or 2 people picked. That one was given a healthy adjustment. It had the highest horsepower coming in, and I think they even added even more.
Yeah, they gave it a bump of 5 horsepower.
475,
dropped
yeah.
12 pounds.
So, yeah, up to 475 horsepower, considering some of these other cars, 450, 440 even horsepower. So a lot of HP in that Camaro, but I think it just lacked in a lot of other areas.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, this isn't really a track where you can just gun it down the straight and make up time.
So we're about to get racing underway here, guys. Sonoma Raceway, it's going to be 12 laps. They're going to warm up 1 lap, cruising around and get in race order. And then it'll be green flag racing to the finish. We saw a strong Mead earlier on today. We'll get our first chance to look at him in his Plymouth Cuda. And there's our first look at EVR Mead in that teal and white Plymouth Cuda, bringing it back. Sparky just behind him in the Mustang. In yellow, did we lose a driver? I think we're backing out.
Yep.
We are indeed. Something not quite right. So we'll do this again. We're getting back into, loading back into Sonoma Raceway here, guys. Hopefully we've got it right this time around. I still haven't forgiven myself for missing like the first 2 laps of Road America.
So I went to upload that to my OneDrive to give it to you, and it didn't go there, so I need to look at my Xbox and see what the hell happened.
Yeah,
I told you, I'm gonna throw this thing out a window one day.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So we will try this again.
Let's see. So you had Mr. Drive as your pick to win, right?
Well, I'm not going to say a pick to win. I don't really pick to win. But certainly a guy I want to look out for, because him starting where he's starting, that's position number 8. I know he's a lot faster than that. I expect he probably just didn't have a great qualification session, so I expect him to move up this order. Hurricane, we haven't seen much of Hurricane.
Start on board with him.
Hurricane there in 4th. Another driver in the Z28. We'll get a chance to look at him. Don't remember seeing a lot of him this season. I could be wrong.
The name doesn't ring a bell. Maybe one race? I don't know. Going crazy.
So we're going to drop down to C-Tom in position number 6 in the Javelin. We're going to get into game cam. And now they're coming around that final turn. And here is how we will roll. It's going to be EDR Mead in the number 212. Grip Tech Performance Plymouth Cuda, Sparky behind him in the Mustang Boss. Number 3 is THR Chirp Chirp in the Javelin. In 4, EVR Hurricane in the Z28, Driftin' Hero. And number 5 in the Z28, C-Tom. And so we're aboard now in the AMX Javelin. And it's going to be a clean start from EVR Me. They're going to slot in, look at 3rd and 4th, Chirp Chirp and Hurricane. Little contact there. Chirp Chirp's going to lose on a spot. It's Drifting here on this inside. Now Chirp Chirp's got the inside here for the left-hander. Now it's Drifting Hero's turn, and Chirp Chirp falling down. Not a great start. He's off the track, and look at him falling down to 7th now.
So
and getting
Drive coming up the inside there, who's made up 2 places. Started out P8, he's up to P6, chasing down C-Tom.
Drop back to Squirrel there. Get a look at Drive in his classic-looking Javelin. Just ahead is C-Tom in number 5. And boy, Chirp Chirp had a rough first sector there. Started today in 3rd, your pick. Now, 8th, down 5 spots. So Chirp Chirp got his work cut out for him. Up at front, it is still Mead Sparky. Then in 3rd is EVR Hurricane. He started the race up 1.
One thing Chirp Chirp has going for him is he has Tri-Passive behind him, so I'm sure his teammate might give him a little bit of a buffer to who I'm on board with here, which is CCGG Racing, who's in P10 chasing both of them down. But he still wants to make up ground, because that is not a good place considering where he started.
Here comes Chirp Chirp on the inside of the final turn. And he's going to make an easy pass, climbing back up this order as THR Chirp Chirp. Look up ahead and Drive in that Javelin, and C-Tom also in the Javelin. Those 2 guys were going a little off track and having some trouble early on. Chirp Chirp, is he getting it back together? Down 4 spots now, as many as down as 5. This is where Chirp Chirp struggled last time out. Can he get it right this time? Looks like he has. Oh, you can just see that Javelin, though. It's a different Javelin. It is a different Javelin. I mean, the numbers don't really, I don't see that they they're not as, they don't tell the story, right? Only losing 3
Yeah.
horsepower. The PI's only down 2. But this car just looks different. It feels different. It's not
There's
an
the
easy car
dynamics
to
of it.
drive all of a sudden. Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, also to the fact that we didn't get a Chirp Chirp was our fastest Javelin. It was a Cuda and a Boss who were our two fastest cars. I'm sure there's
That's
quite
true.
a few healthy number of Javelins in the lobby tonight, but right here, 5, 6, 7, 8, just to speak of that. And try
I
passing
think
there
it
in
just goes
9th,
to
he's
show
in
you.
Z28.
You lose confidence in the car, you lose pace.
So we saw a drive struggle here last time around in lap number 1.
Try
Struggling
passing
again.
is
Is he
off.
holding up Chirp Chirp?
Doesn't lose a position, though,
Bypass was
managed to keep
behind.
it. So lots of people going off tonight.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tough track. It's really going to test these muscle cars. And that's now Try-Passing and Gigi getting really, really close. We'll drop back 2 spots. Go to Gigi. See what it looks like from his perspective. Looking ahead,
He
and
was
he's in that
thinking about going
Z28.
around the outside, but Try-Passing made him think better of it.
Saw that. He certainly was. Look at Squirrel up ahead, looking in the inside of Chirp Chirp. No, that's not. Try-Passing's going to get a better line here. Is he going to have a chance at Squirrel? No, he is not. It's getting cozy up here, Pat. It's getting cozy.
C-Tom is getting a little... Oof. He's not going to be able to hold this, so he loses 2 positions in one corner.
Look at this.
Ooh,
Wow.
bit of contact there.
Yeah, that looked to be C-Tom and Squirrel having a little exchange there. Oh boy, this
Yeah, I was
is
on
getting
board with Churchill.
really
I couldn't tell who
hot.
hit who. There was just 3 cars all in one screen.
And if this continues, we're going to even get some more drivers invited to this party. Roadkill, Darkser, they're not too far behind either. So let's move up a little bit here. We'll go to the middle of this pack and Squirrel. Currently sitting in 7th. In his drive, the head on this snake, is he the slow guy here? Maybe he's not as fast as we once thought he was. We've gone to the loading screen, which is not a good sign.
I
Which
have
means
as
we're
well.
going to lose a driver. Take a look at the ticker up at the top. I think we definitely did lose someone. And it's Roadkill. Roadkill, we've lost Roadkill. Started the race in 15th. He was working his way up that field. Last time I saw him, it was like 12th, 13th place, somewhere around there. So he is indeed dropped from the lobby. We're on that oceanic internet, connecting to a lot of guys from the other side of the world. Tough break for him. But we'll go up to the leaders. I think this is a good chance just to quickly take a look, see what's happened up there. We'll go to Hurricane in 3rd position, and Drifting Hero just behind him. So it's unchanged. It's still EDR Mead, THR Sparky, Hurricane, and Drifting Hero. The guy who was here is not there now. Is Chirp Chirp. Had a rough first lap and fall down the order, working his way back up. So Hurricane's got a interesting driver's suit there, huh? Look at that.
Is
What,
that
a
the
Minecraft,
all
maybe?
green one?
Yeah, it's like a block Minecraft one. I don't know what it is.
I'll have to look at it when it scrolls by again.
So, lap number 4, our best lap is going to be THR Sparky with a 142.0. He's trying to chase down Mead. He's got less than a second between the two of them. 0.8 is the time between Mead and Sparky, but Sparky putting up the fast laps. Can he get any closer and challenge Mead? Because if it finishes this way, and Sparky does not want this, Mead grows that championship. Sparky does not want this. I think if I'm Sparky, I want to get ahead of Mead today. And even if I win one, he wins one, I'm okay with that. The lead doesn't really grow. But if Mead finishes ahead of Sparky twice tonight, he's only going to grow that championship. And it's at this point of the championship where points are a premium. Now everyone starts counting, you know, and they're doing the math. Even in between races, they kind of know where they stand. So, Sparky, I bet that's kind of what he's thinking right now. Boy, look at Drifting Hero. He's really pushing that car and giving Hurricane a challenge, isn't he?
Absolutely. Also looking
at battle of the
Z28s,
right?
It's this whole race has been just cars of the same make going at it, from what I can see. A lot of that because it started out with everybody kind of mixed up, but it's kind of settled into just a manufacturer intra-battle. Yeah, intra-battle.
And this is Drifting Hero and the Bumblebee. Looking ahead to Hurricane in the very difficult part of the track to switch back left to right, and the reason why it's difficult nonetheless. Never mind in these cars, no aero and often street tires. It's going to be a real challenge for these cars, especially this fast right-hander here. Not a lot of room for air. You go off on that grass there, you can lose a lot of speed and get passed easily into this final turn. And Drifting Hero there, currently in 4th, looking ahead to EVR Hurricane. Now Hurricane's got the fastest lap. He's the first driver into the 141s. Do we get any faster now? We're halfway through this race number 1. Oh, it looks like a touch. Hero and Hurricane have a come together in the turn number 2.
Good job by Hurricane to keep his foot in it to get the tail to come around so he can make the corner.
And there's enough space there. I'm just looking behind. This is 4th. You can't even see 5th on screen. So big gap there from the top 4. But Drifting Hero, I think he really wants to get around Hurricane. Not happy with 4th place right now. He wants a podium. He wants it bad. This Drifting Hero is 4th in this championship. And Hurricane's not a player in this championship. He's not a player. So he's only here to play spoiler. Drive, currently 3rd in this championship, way down this order.
Yeah, so I just popped back with Tri-Passing to check in on that battle. Drive's still holding on to 5th, and Tri-Passing now is getting some trouble from behind from Pedantic Squirrel. So if he doesn't tighten up, he might lose this position.
Maybe I'll drop back and go to Squirrel. Oh, I just see a car go off. I think it was C-Tom.
C-Tom, where are we?
I think I saw a car in the tire wall. Maybe it was just me. I don't know what I saw. Okay.
Tri-Passing just went off at that fast right-hander, or sorry, Chirp, but did a good job of literally just bumping the wall and riding it out on the grass. Didn't lose the position.
So this is Pedantic Squirrel, ride aboard and currently in 7th position, looking ahead to THR. Chirp. Remember, folks, started this race in 3rd, fell as far down, I want to say it's 8th position, and has worked his way up 2 spots now to get into 6th position. But Pedantic Squirrel, and this was an awfully close, very close pack earlier on, suddenly starting to spread itself out a little bit. As we're heading certainly down to the second half of this race.
Yeah, it looks like after Tri-Passing had I keep saying Tri-Passing. Chirp had a pretty dirty lap last time, but it looks like he's kind of gotten it together and he's closing in on Drive a bit again at each corner, just braking a bit later than him.
Well, I think I just saw Chirp go off again.
Yep, right as I finished that sentence, he just got a little out of shape coming down the hill.
This is Mr. Drive looking back. You can see Chirp and Squirrel back there. And it's about 1.5 seconds between the 2 of them. C-Tom was once part of this pack, and he's certainly fallen off. Checking on your leaders, Mead, Sparky, Hurricane, Drifting Hero in your top 4. This is Mr. Drive, and currently in 5th position. And of course, Chirp and Squirrel back there. Let's see if we can find anything else. Let me go back up to 4th and Drifting Hero. So evenly spaced here, 1 through 4. And there you can see the gap from this 4th place down to 5th place. It's a good, healthy gap there. So Drive up 3 positions. We said to look out for him at the start. Started the race in 8th, currently in 5th. C-Tom, your big loser tonight, down 6 spots. Roadkill dropped from the lobby. Those are your early stories here in race number 1.
Drive got to work quick too. He made up a lot of places on the first lap.
He did. He certainly did. It's true. Currently in lap number 8 of 12. Making their way around turn number 7. Now and into the turn 8 complex. And then 8A is right here. Really pushes these cars. I think that's going to be the most difficult part of this track tonight. It's that complex we just went through, 7, 8, and 9.
That right-hander at 10 has been catching some people out too. Nobody's gone so far wide that they've nailed the wall and actually bounced back onto the track, but people have been brushing up against the wall pretty frequently.
I'm going to go way to the back of the race in the grid here.
Yeah, we actually haven't looked back there in a while.
All by himself, actually. Maybe we won't go to Twist because he seems to be racing himself right now, but I'm going to go to Cursed now in 14th place. So something happened to Cursed. Fall down to 14th. Qualified in 13th, so I guess he didn't move too much overall, but I thought I remember seeing him up a lot higher up this field than what he was earlier.
I think it was in our qualifying session he was doing well, but then got bumped down as the other lobbies came in.
You know, maybe you're right. This is the battle for Kirsch there in 14th. You can kind of just barely see him up on screen there. That's GG Racing currently in 10th position. Maybe we'll go to GG and look backwards from him. And Chum hot on his tail. Coming out of turn number 6. I'm going to get way over here for turn number 7 and hit your apexes. Can GG do it? Yes, he does. Chum kind of misses that first one. Can he catch it here on the second one? Get a good exit? He certainly does. So GG on screen now, holding off HCCR Chum in a battle for the Z28s, and these guys have been battling all race as well. So you're right, it's definitely been a manufacturer's race here today. I think that's the theme.
Yeah, again, we'll have to see as the next rounds play out whether that was owing to the BOP changes or whether that's the type of racing that Sonoma gives us in this series. But it's definitely been different than what we've seen in the previous races.
Chum gives GG a challenge there in the final turn. Now coming on to lap number 10 of 12. And this is HCCR Chum looking ahead to GG. GG's going to miss his apex slightly. But this is not a place to pass. If I'm Chum, I wait to do it right here and set it up. And he spins those tires and doesn't get a good opportunity there. But
yeah, I think
we'll have another one in
I
turn
feel like
7.
with cars that are these wide, it's tough to kind of get that cut back to get on the inside there. And you can easily just overcook it like he did.
Well, here we go. First on the throttle. Chum's done a good job. And he's going to size up GG. He's going to get on the racing line. GG's going to be a defensive here. He's going to have a car length on him. Here we go into turn number 7. Chum's going to be on the outside. GG on the inside. Are they going to hold it this way through? I think Chum's done it. Is GG going to lift here? Maybe the smart thing to do. Oh my goodness.
Great driving by GG.
Great driving indeed. I mean, none of these guys want to give up this spot here. And there it is.
Oh, and a bit of a bump. There it is. Yep,
very light bump. GG.
Very light bump, but a
Chum.
very high speed part of the track.
Yeah, one of them probably should have lifted. I don't know which one should have done it. That's a tough call to make, fighting for that top 10 spot. And you know what? It cost them both.
The way they made contact, it looked like that was Gigi's corner. But, I mean, they were so fair with each other throughout the other two corners. I think you just got to chalk it up to a racing incident.
I agree. Racing incident, in my opinion, as well. I mean, one of them perhaps could have lifted and then maybe given another shot. It didn't have to be there. That's an awful difficult spot to go too wide, right? I wouldn't want it. It's the fastest part of the track, one of the fastest parts of the track, and it's tough taking it even without a car to your right, to your side. So, but it looks like both of them came out unscathed as far as damage is concerned, but certainly race position. Oh, we got Cursed. Cursed is off. So Cursed is going to go off the track. That's going to mean Chum's going to come through and take 13th place back. Go to Hailfire, who had 2 podiums early in the EU series. Now he's chasing down Gigi, coming to turn number 7. Gigi's going to lock up those rear wheels. My dog just opened the door again. Can't race in peace tonight.
Don't complain. I'd love to have a dog bothering me right now.
So this is where Gigi and Chum had to get together last time out. This time we ride aboard Hailfire in 12th position, chasing down Gigi, and we are now
this is
on
really
our
playing into
final
Chum's
lap.
hand.
So our order, as we're in our final lap, is Mead in first, Hurricane in second. He's gotten around Sparky. I'm going to go to Sparky right now and see what happened. We missed the pass that happened, but Hurricane is playing spoiler today, and now he finds himself in the middle of Mead and Sparky, and that means that that championship lead that EVR Mead currently has, barely holding on to by 3 championship points, is going to grow after this race. Sparky there in third. In fourth, it's going to be Drifting Hero. Unable to get the job done around Hurricane. Hurricane seems to be having a good day today in the Z28. In fifth place, it's going to be Mr. Drive. Chirp, chirp, squirrel. Try-pass and rounds out your top 8. So coming around your final turn, it's going to be EDR Mead. He's going to win your race number 1 win right from pole. So congratulations to EDR Mead and a dominating performance. Hurricane moves up this order. He's going to finish second. Sparky rounds out your podium. He'll finish in third position. Go back to the bottom of this field and see what happens here. It's going to be Hailfire or Chum there. It's a race to the finish. I think it's going to be Chum holding off Hailfire for 12th position. We just caught that on stream. So EVR Mead dominates in race number 1 here at Sonoma. How about that? Might have lost Pat from the chat.
Nope, sorry. I got distracted by the Twitch chat because Darkser just said many crashes at the back. So,
yeah, we
didn't really see that. So.
Well, we saw the GG crash.
Saw the GG. Unless that's all he was talking about, were the ones that we saw. I didn't think it was many. I feel like we had more in race 2.
Yeah, there was a lot of javelins there early on in that race.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. So provisional results. It's going to be EVR Mead in first position. EVR Hurricane, so what? EVR there in 1 and 2. THR Sparky rounds out your top 3. And the rest of the field, Pat.
Yeah, so in 4 we got Driftin' Hero, 5 Mr. Drive, 6 THR Chirp Chirp, 7 Pedantic Squirrel, 8 THR Tripassin, 9 SFM Darkster, 10 CTOM, 11 CCGG Racing, 12 HCCR Chum, 13 Hailfire, 14 Insanity Curse, 15 Eerie Twist, and then DR Roadkill disconnected at the beginning.
We will look to get Roadkill back in here. Hopefully he sticks around for race number 2. Mead, I think that's the story tonight so far. Comes in as the championship leader, barely, over THR Sparky. And that was by 3 points, and has now increased that championship lead by winning this race and put a position between him, his teammate EDR Hurricanes, helping him out. See here, Driftin' Hero, currently 4th in the championship. He finished in 4th today. Mr. Drive in 5th position. He's actually 3rd in the championship. So Drive and Driftin' Hero, that's going to be a battle there for 3rd. Tripassin, can't count him out. He's got 859 championship points to Driftin' Hero's 871 coming into today. Tripassin didn't help himself out by finishing in 8th position today. So it's starting to take shape. Mead looking very, very strong here today. Sparky, that lead's growing. Drive, Driftin' Hero, are they swapping positions? Tripassin not getting any closer. And GG battling there at the end. Lost himself championship points. He's currently 6th in this championship. Not had a great race there. Finished in 11th. We got one more race though, guys. One more race, 12 more laps around Sonoma. And how we thought Sonoma would play a part in these new builds. The Javelin certainly struggled. A lot of trouble for rear end grip there. So a lot of cars go wide. Really having trouble holding on to that rear end, particularly around the fast and the long sweeping turns. Turn 6. And then certainly turns 8, 9, and 10, huh?
Yeah, it seemed to be a lot of people, struggling all over the place. I saw people running wide into turn 1 as well, a lot. So the challenging parts of this track were doing just that, challenging people.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it wasn't a dirty race. But definitely not a clean race. It wasn't like guys were extending. I think guys just had a lot of trouble with these cars in this track. This was probably, looking at the calendar, this was the one everyone's like, nah, really, we're going there? It's going to be tough here. It's going to be tough. So I can't fault the drivers for going wide. I can't fault them for going, not maybe having a clean lap. I don't think I could do it. Certainly not with other cars around me. Definitely the most difficult track on the calendar. Yeah, that's for sure.
Difficult track, difficult cars, which, as we said, some of them have been made more difficult. So that kind of combination gave us what we saw. And it could have been a lot more chaotic because, like you said, people were making small errors, but they were small errors that are understandable given the track. And it's not like we saw people running into each other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Trans Am probably is Trans Am and the Challenger. I think probably the 2 cars that have the best grip, and I could almost see it on screen. You could really almost see it. The Javelin. When just comparing the builds, let's take a look. The Javelin's got handling 5.4. What does the Camaro have? 5.3. No, I wanted the Trans Am. Okay, 5.4. So maybe they got identical handling, 5.4, 5.4, but it certainly doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
watching these cars drive.
I saw a lot of Javelins struggling,
sliding around.
Yeah.
Darkshire's got a hand cramp. Come on, bro.
Struggle is real.
And I'm out of beer. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to YMTV today. It's the Online Racing Association's Trans Am Series. We're about to kick off race number 2. We just saw EBR Mead win in dominating fashion right from pole. Big pass happened late on in that race. EBR Hurricane made the pass around THR Sparky. So EBR Hurricane finished second in that race. Sparky ended up in third. We will be kicking off race number 2 shortly. We'll be back next week for one of your favorite tracks, I believe, and one of my favorites as well, Road Atlanta. And I think it'll be a good race.
Yeah, that's Road Atlanta is. I like it, and I think it'll be a good combination of sort of the. It's got sections that are. Have a lot of corners coming at you fast, like you do at Sonoma in that S's sector, and then you have a lot of straights where you're kind of just waiting around for your braking zone, like they did at Road America. So it's kind of a good in between.
Yeah, the S's, much like turns 8 and 9 here, and that back half, guys, after that double right-hander. The S's, I think the cars will struggle there as well. But look, that's looking ahead. Right now, we got race number 2 here at Sonoma Raceway, full circuit. We're aboard THR Chirp Chirp. He had some early problems in race number 1. Started the race in 3rd and fell all the way down to 8th. He battled back for a decent finish there in race number 1. Finished in 6th place in race number 1. So, I'll write my order down here. Mead. Hurricane in 2nd. We can see Darks are going for a decent slide there. And it was Sparky in 3rd place. Drifting Hero in 4th. Did Roadkill get back in the lobby? I think he did, right?
I haven't checked that out. Let me do so right now. He is.
So here we go. We're going to be on THR Chirp Chirp to start this lap, or start this race. Get a beautiful look at the field of Trans Am cars coming around that final turn. And here we go. It's going to be Drive on the inside, Chirp Chirp on the outside. Look up ahead. It's going to be Mead to Hurricane, and an all lockout of EDR drivers. It's going to be Sparky, Drifting Hero in the yellow. Bumblebee versus the Mustang. Drive's going to get a good exit here. He's going to force out Chirp. But look at this. Coming back is Chirp Chirp. Drive's going to be struggling here. We're going to go 3 wide. We're going to go 3 wide.
Chirp
Drive
Chirp.
passing
Chirp Chirp got
Drive.
Pedantic Squirrel out wide. This is amazing.
Wow. So Tri-Passing, big moves there, up 2 spots already in 2 turns. THR Tri-Passing gets around his teammate Chirp and Drive.
They were wise
go up
to
to
not try to make it
Tri-Passing,
2 or
actually,
3
though.
wide in turn 3 or 4.
So I'm going to go to look at Sparky and Drifting Hero. These guys going at it again. Drifting Hero on the inside. He's in that yellow Z28 with the black racing stripes. Sparky there in the Mustang yellow with the single racing stripe, playing tricks on us, guys. Sparky's now on the racing line. Drifting Hero's going defensive. Here into turn number 7. Tri-Passing's going to slide in. He's not going to help his teammate Sparky here. Sparky does hold on to 4th place, though, but barely. Try-passing is hungry here in lap number 1. Try-passing started this race in 8th. He's already found his way up in 5th position.
So I'm on board with Darkser and Chum, and they're kind of bumping and grinding going through this high-speed right-hander right here coming up to turn 11. And now we have CCGG Racing getting in the mix, so another name that we were talking about in race 1.
And there's Gigi on the inside of Darkser. Hailfire and C-Tom going side by side as well. At turn 11 gives us a beautiful shot in the back half of this field. They are battling once again, Gigi and Darkser. Darkser tucked into that draft. High speed into the left-hand turn number 1. We're going to get a look from Darkser's perspective here. A little touch there to Gigi, and Gigi does not like it. He's a guy who he can get rattled easily. We saw it last lap, or last race, excuse me. The backfield here, certainly entertaining. Kicking up that dust is Gigi, pushing it. Hailfire's going to go wide as well. Looking back here from Darkser to Hailfire and C-Tom. Approaching turn number 7, hard on the brakes here. And they're all in order. No changes. We get some good shots of the rolling hills here at Sonoma Raceway. On board with SFM. Darkser currently in 11th place, chasing down Gigi all over the back of him, and Gigi's had a long night. Oh, they both go wide. They've both gone wide. That's Darkser and Gigi going off. Both managed to hold on to their positions, but I think Darkser's losing patience with Gigi right now. I think he feels he's faster than him. And there it is. Darkser's going to make a mistake. He's going to touch his right tires on the grass. Lose a lot of momentum. He needs to get back on that racing line, because here comes Hailfire in the Z28, another Z28. So Gigi likes this. But how many Z28s we have here? Gigi's in one.
1, 2. Is there a third there?
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, C-Tom. Nope. Javelin.
Maybe this is an opportunity to go back up to the front, because the back of the field, not as entertaining as it once was. Hailfire and C-Tom battling it out for 12th, but let's go take a look. Way up the order, we'll go to Sparky here in 4th position. Started the race in 3rd, and again, he's fallen down the order. Drifting Heroes now gotten in front of him. Go up one spot to Drifting Hero.
That must have happened last lap, because I checked back in with that battle a little while ago, and they were still holding place. So we must have just missed that.
Yeah, we must have just missed that one. Is right. Mead is pushing. He is pushing indeed. Hurricane, though, not a player in this championship, guys. Is he going to help out his teammate here? He's going to play block and make it difficult for Drifting Hero and Sparky? Or does Hurricane want to win for himself? Turn number 2, one of the most difficult parts of the track. Hurricane's going to miss his apex. Drifting Hero's got a good racing line. Doesn't lose much momentum here. It happens again here. Uphill, right-hand turn. Really going to test the suspension of these cars and the lack of aero. And see that Z28 kind of slide out from EVR Hurricane. But Mead still not getting away. A half second on second place of EVR Hurricane does Mead.
Yeah, he definitely hasn't managed to get a gap like we saw him get at Laguna Seca, but he still hasn't really been challenged all night.
No, he hasn't. He has not. Is Hurricane going to do that for him, or is he going to play teammate? Now, it was Trypass who had a rough first race and then didn't have a great qualification session. He qualified in 8th. And Sparky now was the guy who had a great, he was pole in our lobby, but race has been certainly more of a challenge for him tonight, falling down the order in both race 1 and again it looks threatening here in race number 2. Does Trypassin get around his teammate? Because Trypassin certainly looks much faster than Sparky does. Trypassin's made up 3 spots. He's going to make up a 4th right here in turn number 17. He has. Will it stick? He has. He's parked it on the apex perfectly. Trypassin's passed his teammate Sparky. Sparky down 2 positions now in race number 2. So THR Trypassin, is he going to catch up to Drifting Hero? Plenty of time to do it. I think now at this point, Sparky's just going to hold. Hopefully he can hold on to 5th. Not his night, because Drive is not that far off either. Chirp, another THR driver. Well, he doesn't want to get passed by both his teammates. Let's go down to 7th position. And that is Chirp. Looking ahead to Drive. Fresh coat of paint for THR Chirp in the 862 Javelin. And chasing down Drive, the number 6. Here we go. Complex 8 and 9. It's funny seeing the cars just brake there on the apex. That's something I normally would want to do. I'd want to be braking into my turn and not brushing the brakes on the apex, and they're all doing it. Drive and Chirp both did it there.
Yeah, and I'm curious. So, I mean, in certain sections of this track, it looks like the guys with the Javelin are understeering, but I wonder how much of that is just them not going full on into the corner because they're afraid the back end's going to step out.
I think you're right. That's probably what they're doing. They've now... This car does not look easy to drive. It did not. It seemed much easier to drive earlier on in the season. I think just those small adjustments have really thrown off this car. It just seems to be a different car altogether.
Yeah.
Sparky was hoping the BOP adjustments would help out his Mustang. Not tonight. I mean, he's having trouble again in 5th place now. Started the day in 3rd. Now Drive and his teammate Chirp are threatening him for... Is he going to surrender more spots? Hopefully not, Sparky. He needs those points because Meade is having a night. I mean, initially I thought Sparky may have a chance to, you know, perhaps lead this championship depending on how tonight went. Now you start to think, well, can he hold on to 2nd? Is Mr. Drive going to move over him in 3rd place or 2nd place in this championship? Drifting Hero, he certainly looked threatening. So Sparky once leads the championship coming in tonight by 7 points. Drive's going to lose his rear end here on the Javelin. He's going to go
off into the grass.
So Drive is off.
It's going to be enough so Trypass can get through.
This is Chirp on the inside of turn number 12. Pass done. On the attack is THR Chirp. So good job from him. All it took was one slight error there.
Somebody got up
number
in the wall
9 from
up
Drive.
ahead.
Yeah, we got some up.
Trypassing.
Trypassing's way off. Now Chirp's way off.
Chirp's off. Drive's off. Everybody struggled because of that coming by him.
Oh, it's just all cascaded. Everyone, look at this. Trypassing can't get that car on
but
track.
Now
Does he have
back
damage?
In front. Chirp is going to have to do this work all again.
Trypassing's got to have damage. He can't get that car on track.
Yeah, no, he hit the wall pretty hard coming out of the exit.
The kink?
What was that? Turn 12, the little kink, yeah.
Yep. So Trypassing, a disaster here in lap number 7. 5th place in this championship, and that's now perhaps a very costly mistake, as he's going to fall down way down this order and perhaps even last. This is THR Chirp Chirp in 6th. He was in front of Drive at the start of this race. He watched his teammate try passing and go off and kind of just followed him out there and went into the grass himself. There was no contact. He did that all on his own.
Yeah,
he just saw the car go off and just looked at it.
In trying to avoid him, didn't want to go too heavy on the brakes to get the car unsettled, but didn't want to not slow down, so they kind of just waded into the grass. Although THR Sparky is definitely benefiting from that, because these guys are now going to have to battle it out further back.
That's exactly right. Sparky needed that. Not that he needed it, but it happened. I think just Chirp Chirp, you know, took his eyes off the racetrack for 1 split second, and it cost him a spot. And Sparky got a big break there. And we think Try Passing took damage probably on this left-hand kink, maybe hit the wall on the right, and then he came back to the inside to get off the racing line. And where did he end up? He is indeed, I believe he's in last place now as THR Try Passing. 15th place, so he is in front of Eerie Twist. It doesn't look like he pitted either. He did not pit. Maybe I'll hop back there for a split second. Chirp Chirp still all over the back of Drive, pushing that Javelin. Javelin versus Javelin, number 6 in Mr. Drive, and the 862 from Chirp Chirp, battling it out for 5th position. Try Passing, your fastest lap of the night here in race number 2, but that was a long time ago. Currently now in 15th place after a huge error in lap number 7. Try Passing. Here he is on screen. Look at the side of that car. It's definitely, he hit the right side of the wall, meaning it was that kink at the start, finish straight.
Oh, yeah.
And there it is.
Sparky
There's your
got
story.
off in the
It's
dirt.
got aero damage. So on screen there, Try Passing, 100% damage in a few different spots. Brakes and body as well. Driveline, 100% damage. Steering, 100% damage. So he's just going to nurse that car home at this point.
So Drive and Chirp Chirp have already caught back up to Sparky, so it's got to be a little nervous seeing them in this mirror again.
And these two still going at it is THR Chirp Chirp and Mr. Drive. Javelin versus Javelin. Sparky there in the Mustang Boss. 302. He's your yellow car in 4th position. Long gone is EVR Mead and EVR Hurricane Drifting Hero in 3rd place. I think those positions are all but settled should it, except a disaster happens. And, of course, that can happen on any turn here at Sonoma Raceway. Not this car's favorite, but will certainly provide action back in the 1970s. We're getting it here tonight again. So Chum, looking up the ticker there, he's up 5 spots into 7th. So good job from Chum here in race number 2. Roadkill up 4 spots, having a better race number 2. Obviously the big losers there was Try Passing with the huge damage, down 7 spots. We're going to stick on this battle here. And for 5th position, Sparky, Drive, Chirp Chirp. And each of them have been in 5th place at one point today, it seems. This is how they stand right now. Chirp Chirp all over the back of Mr. Drive.
And Drive gets out of
Here we
shape
go. It's gonna happen
again.
now.
That's the second time. That's exactly how he lost that position last time.
There you got it. Can Chirp Chirp hold on to that apex? And he has. 5th position once again is THR Chirp Chirp around Mr. Drive. Now, is he going to attack Sparky?
I think
he
it
gonna settle
depends
for
when
5th?
he catches him. Because we have, what, 2 laps now?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he catches him within the next lap, maybe. But if it's on the final lap, don't push it.
So this is Drive in 6th position, looking ahead to Chirp Chirp. You can see the yellow car up on screen. That's Sparky in the Mustang in 4th position. I think Chirp Chirp was faster tonight. Chirp Chirp was faster than Mr. Drive. Mr. Drive clearly struggled with the javelin there in turn number 9, that long right-hander. You said it. He went off twice. He went off again. And going off there just cost him those spots. Chirp Chirp made the pass in that same place in that hairpin twice tonight. He just waited for the opportunity and then struck. He didn't have to make a hard pass. Drive made that mistake on his own. Yeah.
And that's not to say that Chirp Chirp didn't struggle with his javelin as well. There are parts of the track where he just can't get his nose tucked in either. But the areas where he's struggling don't cost you as much.
That's true. Very well said. And this is where we saw Drive struggling earlier. You can kind of see Chirp Chirp slightly pull away, particularly here is where Drive was having trouble. This time, perfect. But is it too late? Now he's the one chasing down Chirp Chirp. Big slide there from THR Chirp Chirp. Does this give Drive any momentum? Crossing the start-finish line now. 2 more laps. What we'll do is we'll go up to the leader to get a look at Meade and Hurricane, and we'll quickly shoot back down here into the 5th, the battle for 5th. I do want to give our leaders their time on screen because, well deserved, that's for sure. So we'll go to Hurricane there in 2nd position quickly. And this is a race actually here, Pat. This is a race. It's Hurricane.
All right.
Meade. Maybe we got a battle here, so let's do this. Hurricane
so
versus
much for
Meade.
Meade not being
EBR
challenged.
versus EBR. I know. Maybe we were wrong. Now we get the Plymouth Cuda in EBR Meade in that blue and white. And we get the Z28, the YMTV EBR Hurricane number 361, Z28. And again, reminder, folks, Hurricane is not a player in this championship, but he has no problems playing spoiler. And look at that Z28; it can handle these long, fast turns much easier than the Javelin, considerably. The Cuda's got good grip as well. I mean, the Cuda's got pretty strong grip. And you can clearly see it looks easier to drive than the Javelin does at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Those quick changes of direction, the Javelin guys are kind of tiptoeing around him, whereas you can see in the Camaro, Huracan has no problem just throwing it in there.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks like that car's running with aero right now. So a half second between these two on screen. EBR Meade in first. This is EBR Hurricane in 2nd position. Behind them is Driftin' Hero, also in a Z28. See if you can see him. You cannot. And that's how big a difference it is for these two to 3rd position. So these guys have been on their own. Meade has not had a challenge tonight. Is he getting one here in the last lap from EBR Hurricane? I think his best opportunity is going to be, does he get a good exit here in turn number 6? Decent. Not enough. There's just too much space there. I think EBR Meade, if he holds on here and into the hairpin, he's got it done. Slight lockup from Meade. Hurricane's going to go wide. I think that's pretty much
that'll about do
handed Meade the win. Yeah, that'll about do it. I think Meade just at this point is going to put his head down, hit a few more apexes, and this race is won. So EBR Meade, 1 or 2 turns away from a perfect night here at Sonoma. EBR Meade took pole. He took race number 1 win, and now he's done it again. Race number 2, and your championship leader, EBR Meade. Behind him is EBR Hurricane, his teammate, in 2nd position in a very well-run race. Driftin' Hero is going to be in 3rd position. Here we get a look at Driftin' Hero quickly. Here he is in the Bumblebee Z28. Behind him, THR Sparky does hold on, the Mustang boss. Number 392 Mustang. We'll go to Chirp Chirp here in 5th. He made the move on Drive late in that race. Drive, well done from him in 6th position. Pedantic Squirrel had a quieter race number 2 that time. I think race number 1 was probably too much action. Gigi had a better race. Looks like he's finished in 8th. And then Chum there in 9th. And we'll look to get the rest of those race results here for you guys shortly. So Pat, you can go from 9th on down if you want. Help me.
Yeah,
out.
sure. So P9 we got HCCR Chum, P10 SFM Darkster, 11 Insanity Curse, 12 C-Tom, 13 DRR Roadkill, 14 Hailfire, 15 THR Tripassin, and 16 Eerie Twist.
So rough night for Eerie Twist. I was glad to see Roadkill make the race today. After a DNF in race number 1, he finished in 13th place. But I think the big winner tonight, of course, was EVR Mead. Not only did he win both races, he spread that lead. He increased his lead in the championship tonight. Clean racing from him. His teammate EVR Hurricane certainly didn't have to play blocker, didn't have to play teammate. I think Mead did it all on his own. The guys behind him certainly struggled. So Hurricane finished 2nd place in that 2nd race, and 2nd in race number 1 as well, actually to note. Sparky took 3rd in race number 1, 4th in race number 2. So Mead certainly growing that championship. Chirp Chirp had his troubles earlier on tonight, but I think he got it back together. He found out that javelin and figured it out, and had a much better race number 2. He finished 6th in race number 1, and really only finished 5th in race number 2, but I think it was a different Chirp Chirp, right? Certainly felt that way.
Yeah, for sure. A lot more fight now.
Yeah, a lot more fight. That's exactly right. He was willing to really get as close as he can to Drive, put that pressure on him. He was in Mr. Drive's mirror the entire night, and at one point, Drive just made a psychological mistake. I don't think it was a physical mistake. And then Chirp Chirp took that opportunity and pounced. Tripassin, big mistake there. Huge mistake. He was in 5th place at one point in this race and had a crash late on in that race, ended up in 15th place. That was a costly mistake from him.
Yeah, might have helped out his teammate in THR Sparky, because for all we know, Tripassin or Chirp Chirp could well have caught up to him had he not been set back, because he had gotten by Drive, then both of them went off track once Tripassin had his incident, and then he had to do the work all over again and then catch up to Sparky. So for all we know, Tripassin's mistake could have been his teammate's fortune.
It's true. I mean, Tripassin certainly was, not only was he, in my opinion, threatening for Sparky's spot in 4th, he was on the charge today in race number 2, maybe even had a podium opportunity there, and a slight mistake in that kink, hit the wall on the right-hand side at start-finish, and just couldn't get that car back on track, had too much damage, and race over for him at that point. One slight mistake, and Sonoma got him. But I think that's just going to about do it tonight, guys. The TORA Trans Am has provided us another great, fantastic night of racing. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank the drivers. We don't thank the drivers enough. If it's not for you guys, YMTV wouldn't be here, so I want to thank all you guys for showing up. Everyone in A lobby, everyone in B lobby as well. Our marshals, Flying Mikey J, Big Ben, all these TORA staff. TORA, the Online Racing Association. We don't talk about them enough here. Guys, it's a free website. All you do is sign up and you can race along with these guys, maybe get your name here up on screen at YMTV. I'd love the opportunity to shout your name out. We'll be here next Thursday, Road Atlanta, for round number 5 of the TORA Trans Am Series. Can anyone threaten me? Does Harmonic come back? Does Diablo come back? Or is Hurricane the new threat to EVR Mead? We'll find out next Thursday, Road Atlanta. Pat, any final words, my man?
Just, I think you touched on it all. hopefully we get another great week of racing next week. I'm sure we will. Different type of track, but another great setup nonetheless.
We will see you guys then. For Pat McAssey, my name is Flipmode. Have a good night, everyone.